Is the Nikon D500 still the best wildlife camera if you're using Nikon? It all depends what you want from your wildlife photography. Price-wise, there is nothing better out there at the moment than the Nikon D500, unless you're going to the Nikon Z9, which is a huge difference in price. Now, I know the Nikon D500 brand new is hard to find because, according to rumors, Nikon is not making it anymore. I can't verify that, but I do know brand new they are hard to find, but they're not impossible to find. In the local shops here, you can still find them. You can still find them on the internet. So if you're after the best digital SLR for Nikon, then I wouldn't go past the D500. Why not the D850? Well, you don't need nearly 50 megapixels to shoot wildlife. What you want is fast frame rate. The D500 shoots at 10 frames per second. To get close to 10 frames per second on the D850, you have to buy a battery grip. You have to buy the much better batteries to afford you to do that. That brings a lot of extra weight. And because it's a full frame compared to a crop sensor, if you're using the 200 to 500 Nikon f5.6 lens, which is one of the best wildlife lenses you can use with your Nikon D500, instead of getting the equivalent focal range of 350 to around 750, you're getting 200 to 500. So you're limiting your focal range. You have to crop in. And once you crop in, you lose all the advantage of those extra megapixels, which means you're basically shooting with a D500. So why go to all that extra expense to shoot with a D850 when you can do everything you want with the D500? Why would I spend nearly $2,000 more on a D850 when I can do everything with the D500? The only camera close enough to that would be the Z6ii, but it's around $1,000 more, brand new. It'll shoot up to 12 frames per second, but you get blackout. Now, if you follow me on YouTube or on my social media pages, you will know that I've upgraded to the Z6ii, and I'm recording also this video on the Z6ii just to test it out. But my reasons to upgrade from the D500 to the Z6ii would be very different to yours. If you're not interested in shooting video, then there is no need to go to the Z6ii because there are obstacles in your way for the Z6ii. The Z6ii is a great camera. It takes great photos. It has a slightly bigger megapixel count of 24 compared to 20 for the D500. Apart from that, it does the same thing. And there's also a big hurdle that the maximum frame rate, unless you go to extended continuous, is 5.5 frames per second, whereas the D500 here will shoot at 10 frames per second. You can go up to 12 frames per second on the Z6ii, but you get blackout. People call it blackout. What it is you're just seeing your last photo very briefly, like for a millisecond, then you can take the next shot. This can be a hassle. Why I changed to Z6ii is for the video capabilities. If you don't want video, then stay or buy the D500. The 200 to 500 is a great lens. It's nearly $2,000. But if you don't want to spend that much and you're just starting out in wildlife and you really want to upgrade from a D7500 or a D1000 5600 and you're wanting to look at the D500 and you're saying, money's tight at the moment, then look no further than the Nikon AF-P lens, the 70 to 300mm, f4.5 to f6.3, so 300 mils, it's f6.3. It is an all plastic lens, but don't let it fool you. I'll put a link here where I tested this lens out, and you will be surprised what this lens can do on your D500. The images are so sharp. The autofocus speed is so quick, and I would say the autofocus speed with the 70 to 300 is quicker than using the 200 to 500. The 200 to 500 is a fraction slower. If you're a wildlife shooter and you are looking for the best digital SLR wildlife camera, or even mirrorless camera at that point for shooting wildlife, then look no further than the D500. There is nothing on the market that Nikon offers at the moment that equivalents quality of image and autofocus speed, because the Z6ii sometimes will let you down. It is not as good as the D500. I stated I went to the Z6ii because I wanted video, and in video it is incredible. This is my reason. If you're not shooting video, there is no reason at all to look any further than the D500 until Nikon brings out an equivalent in mirrorless that can do everything the D500 can do. And at the moment, there's nothing on the horizon like that. To me, 2022, the D500 is still king of the heap. It was brought out in 2016. 6 years. In that 6 years, Nikon has still not upgraded this camera. Why? Because they still feel that this is the best wildlife camera that you can buy. Why look any further? Buy the D500 and you will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.